Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Hey there.
Today we're tearing through your sources to really unpack the story of fermentation.
Right.
It's this ancient biotechnology that, it's just a fundamental driver of human civilization.
That's absolutely right. And for this deep dive, we're really focusing on, I guess, 3 core questions.
Okay.
First, how did this technology actually evolve, from a happy accident to something controlled?
And what critical problems did it solve for them?
Exactly. And then, the big one,
Yeah.
what was its actual impact on civilization itself?
The timeline on this is just,
I see.
it's wild. The earliest evidence we have for beer residue, it dates back 13,000 years.
Yeah, from a cave site in Israel, which puts it deep, deep into the Neolithic era.
So way before what we'd normally call organized agriculture.
And you have to assume the discovery was an accident, right? Some leftover fruit or grain just
Close to bubble.
spontaneously ferments.
Exactly. But once they figured out what was happening, the technical evolution was, well, it was incredibly rapid. And it got sophisticated fast all over the world. If you look at China, the sources point to organized rice brewing, 10,000 years ago?
At Shangshan, yeah. And then, not too far away, at Jiahu, about 9,000 years ago, they'd mastered this really complex mixed brew.
That was the one with rice, honey, and fruit.
That's the one. But the really huge technical leap in China was something called Jiahu.
The wine starter.
Right. Before that, you had 2 really difficult steps. First, you have to convert starches into sugar.
Saccharification, right?
And then you convert that sugar into alcohol. Jiahu basically solved that massive engineering problem by combining both steps into one reliable starter.
Okay, so meanwhile, in Mesopotamia, maybe 7,000 years ago, the Sumerians were doing something totally different with this. Beer bread.
Up here, yeah. They would bake this sort of partially fermented barley loaf.
Ah, so it's a storage technology.
Exactly, it preserved it. And then they could just re-ferment that bread in water whenever they wanted to drink. It was brilliant.
It's just amazing that they could manage all this without any modern science. How did they control the quality?
It was all sensory, all through experience. They'd manage the temperature just by, touching the outside of the fermentation vessel.
Feeling if the clay was warm enough.
Just gently warm. And in places like Georgia, they buried these huge clay jars, gevrus, underground for natural temperature regulation.
But you have to ask, why go to all that trouble? Just to manage the warmth of a pot.
Well, because the payoff was so much bigger than just flavor. It was literally a matter of life and death.
Right. Before the age of Pasteur, city water, well water, it was often contaminated, spreading sickness, plague.
Exactly. So fermented beverages, even very low alcohol ones, were critically safer to drink than plain water. That's a huge reason they became universal.
So solving water safety is massive. But let's jump from sickness to actual sustenance.
Right.
Fermentation wasn't just for flavor. It was like the world's first industrial-scale food safety system, without any refrigeration.
It absolutely was. It stabilized food that goes bad quickly. Milk into kefir or vegetables into sauerkraut. Preservation, but also, and this is so crucial, it vastly improved the nutrition.
How so?
Well, when you ferment grains, you reduce things like phytic acid.
And that's the compound that locks up essential minerals, right? Like iron and zinc.
It's the one. Fermentation makes them so much more absorbable, plus it significantly increases B vitamins.
So if we connect all of that to the bigger picture, it seems like fermentation might have actually helped push civilization to happen.
There's a very powerful theory there. The idea that the need to reliably produce fermentable resources like grains for beer was a strong motivation for humans to give up nomadic life and settle into agriculture.
And then that new agricultural structure relied on fermented products to keep itself going.
It did. Fermented drinks weren't just for, elites holding feasts to strengthen social bonds.
Right.
The sources suggest these drinks were actually used as a form of payment, as wages for laborers building these massive state projects.
A kind of liquid currency.
A liquid currency that directly cemented the social structure and the labor hierarchy.
So it was everything. It was early engineering, medicine, currency, and religion all rolled into one.
The spiritual value was universal. It represented this incredible mystery of life emerging from decay. You see it everywhere, from the Egyptian god Osiris to the Greek Dionysus.
So to wrap this up, it was so much more than just food.
And that leads us to a final, maybe provocative thought for you to consider.
Go on.
If fermentation improved nutrient bioavailability and brain health by making key minerals absorbable.
And boosting those B vitamins.
Right. Did this ancient technology actually help drive the evolutionary expansion of the human brain?
Wow. And what other, biological processes are we overlooking that might have secretly shaped the very foundations of our world?